actually live.
Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. We're so happy to have you. How is everyone doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We are so glad to see another year. Thank you, God. This is amazing. How are you feeling, Anisi?
I am feeling wonderful. How about you, Nick?
I'm feeling great. What are some things? Everybody talks about this, like New Year's resolution, to the point where people are like, oh, I don't even want to say it no more. But we always look forward to a new year because it gives some hope there. So, like, what are some things that you're looking forward to in this new year?
I agree. I don't like to do New Year resolutions because so oftentimes we fail at them. So this year, I have expectations.
Yes.
And I am looking for awesome 2023.
Yes.
I'm coming out with new things. I'm having new visions. I'm having new changes. All toxic and all negativity. I'm totally positive in 2023.
Yes.
And I'm looking for things to excel and accelerate life into oblivion. I'm so excited.
And for those of you who do not know, Anisi, she loves to travel, y'all. This woman, she enjoys her travel. So I know you have some trips coming up, lined up for this year. I know you're excited about that. More time with your family and things like that.
Yes, we have one right at the top of the year, and I can't wait to talk about it afterwards.
Yes, girl. You know, we got to get the details on that because I know you're going to...
I'm going to have a ball.
You're going to be making some memories.
Yes, and meeting people. And, and learning new people and talking new things and moving forward and strong and hard.
That's right.
Getting it hard. Doing something different, expecting something you never imagined.
Yes.
And I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too. You know what I'm looking forward to this year? I'm just looking forward to having a more solid peace of mind, more positive interaction from people. I'm looking forward to this podcast expanding. This is, and travels as well, because, me and you talked about me, wanting to get ready to travel towards Canada. And I'm excited. I have some things lined up. I used to be so sheltered, especially after, quarantine and all those types of things. Yes. And at one point I just got so used to being in the house. I was like, is this what it's going to be? And then one day I was just like, no, I can't do this anymore. I was like, this is life. It's meant to be enjoyed. And I'm going to take full advantage of it. This is going to be a year of victory, a year of satisfaction, a year of happiness. I'm looking forward to so many things and being more in tune in my relationship with God. Taking things more, instead of worrying, taking things to the Lord, because he's been working, he's been showing, and the best things happen when you step out on faith.
That's the only way. That's the only way things happen.
Yeah.
Because it's just not going to fall in your face or in your lap. It's not until you put forth an effort to change anything or to do anything to even see anything manifest.
Yeah, you definitely
got to step out on faith.
That's right. You got, if you want to see something change, you gotta take that leap.
Exactly, because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. That's what the Word of God says.
That's true. And so, that's really, and that makes me think of something. When we look over the span of 2022, all the things that we saw. Even the disheartening, as of recent, the blizzard up north that killed people, that was bad.
Yes.
Like people freezing to death in their cars, and it was just so. I was just like, wow, it's very unexpected. And when you observe those things, it makes you so grateful, and it also teaches you, you never know what life is gonna throw at you.
Absolutely. None of us are prepared for everything that happens to us and when it happens.
Right.
It's just that we have to, whatever happens, we just have to take it and do the best we can with it. Everybody,
make it work.
If everybody knew what was going to happen before it happened, they would prepare for it. And it's not real that way. When something catches you off guard,
right,
and you react,
right,
that's real.
Yeah.
When you prepare, that's prepared.
How do you adapt, like when life throws changes your way? And I think that adversity is what builds strength. Yes. It builds character, right? And it really teaches you. I always say life is the best teacher, because no matter where you've gone to school, no matter how smart or, where you've been, life is still going to teach you some things that a book cannot.
Absolutely.
Baby, we in that season.
Yes, it reminds me of ain't no bigger food than an educated food.
There's plenty out there.
I tell you, these people are so smart.
They go by the book on everything.
Yeah, they are so smart and so intellectual. They have no common sense, none whatsoever.
No sense of direction,
And I know a few of those people.
Me too. I think we all do.
Personally, we all can say we know somebody like that.
Yeah.
But, it's very funny. But in all seriousness, it's sad as well too, because life itself is it's a teacher.
Yes, it is.
It's a learning experience. Don't nobody get it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nobody's gonna get it all right.
All the time.
Nobody.
Nobody does. That's why we have to have our experiences and learn from it and pull ourselves up.
Yeah. And help others along the way. Yeah.
And live the best life we can out of what is left after these experiences and after all these things that come upon us.
Yeah.
That bring change in our lives. And I think that's what makes us more human,
Yes, and we need more of that. We need more humanity because, honey, let me tell you something. I have never seen more detached people than I have this year. Like, baby, people don't give a damn. They are walking around here. They are just like,
but,
oh my gosh.
But it's the sign of the time.
Yeah.
It is the sign of the time. A lot of people are, you ask the question, you ask somebody, how are you doing today? And they'll say, well.
you don't get a pleasant answer.
You don't even get a good answer.
Yeah.
And
sometimes they won't even speak back,
Yeah, that's how they doing today. And it's like they dumbfounded.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
I remember when somebody...
People don't hesitate to be rude.
How are you today?
Yeah.
Easy.
People are not giving that.
How are you?
Yeah.
It's like they're walking around with masks on, like they don't even know who they are.
Yeah, it really is something. So I'm hoping and I'm praying for the best in 2023. I'm not looking towards any negativity. But like I said, we'll see. Just stay positive. We want to encourage others. No matter what you're going through out there, keep a positive mindset. I know a lot of things that we see out here, media-wise, just in our own personal lives, it is so disheartening, but, your mindset is everything. And, don't look at other people's experiences. Look at your own journey and how you can move forward and how you can make things progressive for yourself. So stay positive, you guys out there. I know it's hard, but we can all do it. Let's move forward. Okay, so we got some updates, some trending topics going on EC, and let's go ahead and address those. All right, you guys. So as of recent, Tory Lanez, there has been a phone call that he made to Kelsey from jail. For those of you who have not heard about it, Tory Lanez, he got a, he went to trial, and he was found guilty on 3 charges: assault with a semi-automatic firearm, possession of a concealed unregistered firearm, and negligent discharge of a firearm. Of course, he at the time was already a felon, so he went to jail. He called Kelsey, and he was basically apologetic about all the things that happened, I guess, that night. Shout out to Neek at Night. You guys, if you don't know her, follow her on YouTube. This this lady, she really gets the scoop. She really gets her info. So shout out to Neek at Night and the Night Owls, because she had that audio, that phone call where he was apologizing to Kelsey, for what happened, and he seems apologetic, and I think it's bearing down on him now. Like, he's in jail, and
he's got time to think.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, for him, no judgment here, but this was a long time coming for Tory Lanez, because he was so violent. Like, he's had so many. Well, I won't say so many, but he's had a few known incidents and run-ins with other people where he's been violent. And even with Megan, when that whole incident happened, he was making songs about it. And then when she came out and she told people that, she was shot by him, he was still talking. And the judge had to order him to, to stop talking. And it just goes to show he just really had this arrogant attitude towards it. But now it's like he's being humbled. And baby, let me tell you something.
Yeah, got a way of doing that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, you got time to think.
And think about it.
You got time to think. So hopefully for him moving forward, he will understand. I don't know how this thing's going to pan out with his sentencing, but I hope that he understands, as well as many, having a misunderstanding with people. You don't get to pull out a weapon and just shoot or whatever. It's just, what happened to just sitting down and talking about things as adults? It just seems like you don't even see that anymore. People want to resort to violence immediately, and it's so scary.
It is, but that's the way. That's the land we live in now. Everybody has progressed with anger so quickly. They have no compassion. They have no consideration of other people. They just jump from 0 to 100. Yeah, and it's just unreal. And that comes from not having love. Mm-hmm. When you don't have love for your fellow man, mm-hmm. or for each other, mm-hmm. it's quick to get mad, and it's quick to get things out of control and thrown off, and they act like they have something to prove. Yeah. And they so in a hurry to right or wrong, when sometimes some things don't even have to be addressed. You can just walk away from them. But mm-hmm. nowadays, it's public enemy number one.
I got to make an example out of you.
Exactly. How dare you try to be like this? You done test my gangster, or you done test my womanhood, or you done test this, or you done test that.
Everybody's so ready to just jump off the handles. And I'm just like, wait a minute, because you're not thinking these situations these can be detrimental situations that will affect you for the rest of your life, or even worse, in your life. Exactly. Take you away from your family completely. So I'm hoping that people have more of a sound mind in 2023 and to think first before you act. Because people these days, you never know who's going through what, and you mouthing off, saying something crazy or acting crazy, that may be the very thing that cuts your life short. So you always want to be careful about those kinds of things, because you don't want, trust me, nobody wants to go to jail. No, that's not for you, trust me. So
because you don't know the mindset of people, and you don't know where people are in their thoughts or in their heads, and you just don't know what kind of bag they may come out of. So if it's not that big of an issue, walk away and just forget about it, let it go.
Yeah,
it's easier to do that than to have a confrontation, and you don't know where it goes from there. It could end up somebody hurt, or somebody worse, dead, or somebody going to jail, and it's not worth it.
That's right. It is so not worth it. And also, in other news, Andrew Tate, the controversial internet personality, people say he's a self-proclaimed misogynist, but I don't believe that. I think he's just dominant in his stance and his beliefs. Recently, he was detained in Romania. Two young ladies accused him of holding them against their will and forcing them into sexual acts. We'll keep y'all updated on that, because I don't know how that's going to pan out. But he's, a lot of people are saying that he's been lied on or he's being set up because he believes in, pushing the issues of having a more traditional family. Like, he's a traditionalist. And a lot of people don't agree with that because they say, oh, it's wrapped up in misogyny. He's saying this, he's saying that. But I've listened to a few of the interviews he's given, and he wasn't giving me that. I think he's just someone who has a certain belief about what it is to be traditional, what the man's role is, what the woman's role is. Everybody, that may not be everyone's cup of tea. But, I think, you have to just find the person who you're equally yoked with and who that works with. Because you do have women who do want to be more, live more of the traditional lifestyle. But I think certain circumstances deter them from that. Or like they get into a relationship, they're looking forward to being a wife and a mother, and they want to do those things. They want to be submissive, but then they get with someone who may not be mature, financially stable. And all those things are going to have a conflict, because I don't care what anyone says. Like, you can have hopes and dreams all day, but if you're with someone who's not ready to help you fulfill those things, it's going to be an absolute disaster. What do you think about that, Aunt Nisi? Do you believe in the more traditional family, or you believe more so in the modern family? Do you think it should be like it was back then in the old days?
I believe in the traditional type family. I really do. Mm-hmm. But I think the dynamic of a traditional family, I believe. But I think some of the roles are different because nowadays times has changed. Mm-hmm. The wife could stay home and just raise the kids, but now the economy that we live in, we have to get out and work. It's a 2-income type thing. That's this world we're living. It takes more now. We're not growing our own foods. We're not raising our own meat, cows and whatever, pigs and whatever we're not raising our own meat. Women
are going out and working.
Mm-hmm. Now we have to work and those roles has changed. So. Yeah,
things have gotten extremely expensive. Exactly. Both parents have to be working. It definitely is a team effort,
and it brings home. This is why you see the grandmothers and stuff that are stepping up, helping children with grandchildren. You're seeing blended family. You're seeing the grandparents living with the kids and helping with the children. Because now mom and dad is working and somebody's got to be there with the children.
I agree.
So I believe in that.
Yeah, because
it's just that it never worked that way for me. So
right, I understand.
I've only had my own self to look after.
Mm-hmm.
Because I chose not to have children.
But you had an awesome husband who was a wonderful provider. God rest his soul.
Yes, I had all of that.
Yes.
And I chose not to. I'm a better aunt than I am.
And that's all right. That is all right.
I'm telling you. Because I can pick them up and put them down when I get ready.
Right. And you're a good parent figure. You're a good parent figure to many. And and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that there's, like you said, the dynamic has changed in a lot of ways for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And now with, especially things with like, inflation, those types of things. Oh man, it's like I can understand why women are not comfortable just solely relying on the guy for things. But of course, get your own bag. But if you're about your family, be about your family.
Yeah, because another thing, when you leave that up to the men don't find things that women find important. Like
it's
the
different
kids and stuff. Men don't think. They think the kids can wear the same shoes for 20 years and never think once they need to change.
Well, girl, I hope not.
That they need another pair. Just looking back, in my own life, in my own family.
Girl, I hope not.
He never took me nowhere to buy shoes. He never.
Because he felt like that was something your mom was supposed to do.
Yeah, he didn't even look at them. He didn't know if they had a hole in the bottom of them or not. But I'm just saying, they don't think about that. They think about going to work, bringing the money home.
But that's why I say it takes two. Yeah.
When the money gets home, whatever needs to be done is there. So he ain't worried about if his kids got shoes, clothes. Because he knows if they need them, the money has been provided.
Yes.
And can be.
And yes, it definitely. I think it's good to have a two-parent home.
Men are not doing that today.
No.
You have so many households where there is no man at all.
Yes. And
their children.
And you know what gets me? And this is, I'm about to make a point in just a second. You know what really gets me? A lot of people are talking about traditional this, traditional that, but it's like you're not providing the circumstances for the traditional family to be embraced.
Take place.
Did you see that?
Exist.
Right. Did you see that? Okay, there was this interview where it's Amber Rose, Murder Mook. I think it was on what, Drink Champs or something like that. And Amber Rose, she got offended by Murder Mook because he spit some lyrics, and he was basically talking about people being recognized for not being talented, and she was offended by that because she was just like, she was like, blame the consumer. And I think a lot of people look at Amber Rose and they be like, this is the girl who does the slut walk. She glorifies that vixen like image. But at the same time, she's not wrong, because you do have men who will sit there and say, oh, a woman should be this, traditional values this, family should be this. But it's like at the same time, you glorify these images of these women,
these type of women. But then they want their woman to look one way.
Yes,
but when they out there in the streets,
right,
they want the vixen,
right,
with the hair down to her butt,
right,
shorts cut up her behind,
yes,
and everything exposed.
That's what gets me. That's what gets me.
That's what they cheat with.
Yes, I said
they marry you, but they cheat with
the opposite.
With Tiffany over there.
Yeah, and they'll sit up there and they'll be like, "Oh, I want my woman, submissive. I want her, you want this good girl. Oh, I want her to be natural. Da 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 da." But you'll risk it all for these women with the fake hair, fake lashes, fake nails, fake booty,
fake titties, fake everything.
Everything opposite of what you want your girl to be.
Exactly. Yeah. What you got at home.
on now.
So what do you want? He want his cake and he want to eat it too.
Yeah, just say that. And it's just like, don't, you sit up there and say one thing, but it's like you got to look at what are you glorifying out here? What are you really doing? Because this stuff didn't pop out of anywhere. No. These women wanted to look like this for a reason because that's what, and I've seen my own friends do that.
That's what society say looks good.
Yeah.
But it's always true. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
That meaning what that person deem as beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's what's beautiful to them.
Yeah.
And everybody's definition of what that looks like is different.
Yeah.
And we women, we cater to, to the nails and the hair. I don't care 2 red pennies about a nail.
Yeah.
I care about being clean and looking good and without buying stuff like nails and booties.
And everybody is different. I'm just like, I guess I just feel like, and here's another thing. I feel like now that a lot of these men out here have daughters, it's like now they're changing their tone, I feel like, cause see, back in the day when people were enjoying all, being young and, wild and free and poking everything that walks. And then, one day you're a parent, you have a daughter, and then you see your daughter growing up.
And people looking at poking.
Yeah. And you know what's out there?
Yeah.
You know what's out there.
Because you contributed to it.
Yeah. And you don't want your daughter running into that same man that you used to be. And now you're like, oh no, our daughters need to have role models. Women need to be this. Women. It starts with the man. You're supposed to be top dog. You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the head of the household. You're the blueprint. So you need to set those standards because, girls are going to more than likely marry a man similar to their father.
Exactly.
And you got to be the blueprint. You got to set the standard because you were young yourself. You already know what's out there. You got to keep your daughters on this game because a lot of guys out there play many. And you can't always pinpoint the female and say, well, women are doing this and women are doing that.
What are you doing?
Yeah. You got to take some accountability with that. So
yes, absolutely, girl. At
the end of the day, everybody has to own up. Like, you can't call out somebody else's faults without looking at your own.
True.
So hopefully in 2023, some people recognize that and instead of pointing the finger at each other, how can we work together to provide these better images, these better role models for our future generations? It's important because you can't sit up here and talk about, what women are and this and that. And you got guys out here, a lot of entertainers, they're glorifying the distribution of narcotics and, promiscuity and violence.
And drinking.
Yes. Yes. So it's
getting over intoxicated and thinking it's cool.
It's wild. It's wild. So we got to work on that, y'all. I'm definitely looking forward to what 2023 is going to bring. So any closing words, Aunt Nisi?
Just stay woke.
Yes.
Stay woke.
Yes.
And
prayed up.
And prayed up. Yeah. And listen.
Yes. Be willing to be taught. Don't let your ego get the best of you because pride does come before the fall. So that will wrap up our segment today, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is Aunt Nisi and Nick, the aunt and cousin you actually like. And we'll see you next time. Bye.